welcome to Sideline Vibes, the Minnesota sports show changing the narrative of Minnesota sports fandom. I'm your host, Derek Long. Today we have a way too early, maybe way too early. I don't know, is this really early for NFL draft talk?
It's way too early.
That's how we do it around here, though. Way too early. Yeah.
There was some mock drafts already, so.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, there's usually isn't there like a mock draft that just drops like right after the Super Bowl, like right at the end?
Probably a 2027 mock draft.
Oh my God, that's crazy. Anyways, we're doing the way too early NFL draft. We're gonna call this the Austin Eiter vibe, guys that just like tickle your fancy, as he is locked in on everything NFL draft and NFL, and then we'll do some state of the state. Well, I'll do mostly the state of the state. Austin's gonna chime in with a couple things and then get out here. But yeah, let's get to it. Minnesota Vikings draft coming up here. Some might say the most crucial draft, or is this kind of like we have nothing to lose. We are kind of a hot mess right now anyways. So is it, well, how would you consider that?
Somewhere in between.
Somewhere in between. Just where we want to be in Minnesota Vikings land. Somewhere in between. So
looking back at it, it's like, well, 2 years ago was probably the crucial one.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, we just got to try to better everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, there's not like one or two positions that they address and be like a substantially better team.
Yeah. So
it's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. So the Vikings, we have picks in the first round, second round, third round, fifth round, sixth round, seventh round. Couple picks, three picks in the seventh round. Our first round pick is pick number 18, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Was that where Justin Jefferson was picked? Or was it somewhere?
I think
like,
he was in the.
Okay. Somewhere around there.
I don't even remember.
So you never know. We can get it in that spot. Now, I don't know how dialed in you are to this, but this is something that I've been stuck on this entire offseason of coaching carousel / hiring carousel. Is the Vikings hired Matt Thomas, former vice president of football operations in Seattle, and he's kind of brought on to help with the draft. Did you hear about this, or is this something that I'm just like?
Well, I heard about it, but I don't know exactly what he's doing other than helping. I don't know what that means, but
sure. I mean, it can't be bad, right? It can't be any worse than what we've been doing. Seattle's pretty good at drafting, one might say.
Yeah, they're one of the better teams in the NFL.
Yeah, so this is, I think, a sneaky get. If we have a good draft, we can look back and be like, hey, maybe Matt Thomas was cooking here.
Hope so.
Yeah, hope so. So, okay, overall, I guess, position-wise, well, let me ask you this. Okay, before I get into position-wise, if you were a GM drafting in the NFL, what would be your philosophy? There's kind of two main philosophies. Some say would be like drafting the best available player, regardless of your position, or biggest need at your position and starting with there, or kind of like in between. There's like a third category where it's like you take the best available if it's like a very valuable guy in the draft.
Sure.
Where would you land on this spectrum of GM-ship if you had to be a GM of a team?
Just so hard because it depends on, you're the New York Jets. Mm-hmm. You're going to draft a lot different than if you're Patriots or the Seahawks, for example, since they just played in the Super Bowl. It's like the Patriots or Seahawks probably aren't just picking, probably have some holes that they're looking to address that could even improve them a little bit more. But when you have the Jets or the Raiders, I mean, your whole team is basically full of Swiss cheese. You have holes everywhere.
Yeah.
So you need to pick anybody at that point, whoever the best available is. It just kind of matters, what each team is, kind of where they're at as far as their journey to hopefully winning a Super Bowl, I guess.
Sure. I kind of again, I agree with you there. There's a lot of I always look back at the Jefferson draft moment like we actually got a lot of cool footage out of that when the Eagles passed on Jefferson and how quickly we were like, we got to take Jefferson. Like, and it's not like we had. I mean, we traded Diggs to essentially for that pick, but like, it's not like, if my memory serves me well, like, it's not like we were like, we need a wide receiver, but it just like worked out. We are like, man, he's still on the board. We got to get him. That's what that, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
It would have been interesting to see what they would have done if he was taken.
Sure.
Like, would they have even picked wide receiver?
Yeah. So it's always interesting to kind of see that. Now, with that being said, what do you think are the Vikings' like biggest needs?
I mean, the biggest glaring hole is safety. It's with Hitman probably, being gone.
He hasn't announced it officially, has he?
No, but even if he comes back, I mean, it's like 95 years old players, maybe 105.
Yeah, what's the math?
So, like, they got to do something. They got to do something at some point. And it's a pretty top-heavy safety class, so it just makes a lot of sense to go safety early. But, they could always use another corner, too. It's not a very deep corner class, so it would make sense to go corner there. But it just seems like unless something crazy happens and Jeremiah Love falls all the way to 18, I don't know who else you take there. So I'm not a big fan of, like, we need a tight end. I don't really think tight end at 18 would be what I would do, at least. But I mean, those are kind of the big ones: tight end, running back, safety, cornerback. Probably get a linebacker. That seemed to kind of hurt us towards the middle and end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Ivan Pace was kind of key ass, and Eric Wilson was decent when he was back in there, but he's never been like a phenomenal player either, other than the situational linebacker and occasion, a good special teamer.
Yeah.
So linebacker, you can always get more D linemen too, would be the other thing. So you need a center even. I don't know if you want to draft a center, or like definitely not probably early. There's one good center. I'll probably go in the top 2 or 3 rounds. But I don't know. I don't see them doing that either. So early, probably like a safety, cornerback. Third round, maybe a tight end or a running back, something like that.
So this is kind of like a big, not a big fill in the holes draft, but more of like a let's get some guys in here and see if they kind of hit. Is that where we're kind of landing on this draft? Depends on a lot of things, right?
Depends on what you think the holes are. Like, I think safety for the Vikes is a huge hole, especially if Harrison Smith is gone. Mm-hmm. Would even say tight end is a huge hole. I don't think Hawkinson is he's definitely not as good as he used to be. He's kind of a shell of himself, and a lot of people like to say it's like, well, yeah, he had to sit in and run block and pass block a lot. And it's like, well, if you just need a guy to sit there and run block and pass block, maybe you don't make him like the 4th highest paid tight end in the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense to kind of move on from him. A tight end to me just seems like another hole.
Yeah.
What was the other corner? They're just always. It's like every year, it's like a carousel of corners.
Yeah.
It's just different people every single year, and sometimes they're pretty good. Like, I feel like they've actually had pretty good luck, and that's probably credit to Flores that they've been able to find some of these like kind of castaways and make them or have a pretty serviceable defense with them. Corner, is another spot they could like maybe get somebody and have same guy for more than a year at a time.
Sure.
So I don't know. Those are kind of the glaring ones. Center is a hole because was it Ryan Kelly, the center? He's like addicted to concussions. Well, that's not going to be like a long-term guy that you want there either. He's probably got like all of the CTE already.
Yeah, we just have a lot. Like, I feel like we have the positions we need, I feel like they're like pretty important. Like even you look at the quarterback position, you're like, oh my god, if we don't have a quarterback, like what's the point of anything? Like we've been talking about all year.
None of it even matters if you don't have a good quarterback.
Yeah. So are you team? I'll ask you this. This is random. Before we get to your guys here, is this if Joe Burrow is truly available? Do you sell the farm for it? Do you go all in?
I don't even know what the farm is though.
Yeah, true.
They've seen so many different like theoretical trades. And some of them are like 4 first-round picks, and some of them are like, I don't know. It just depends on what it is. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would probably be fine with them doing it just because it would rock.
Yeah.
It would be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get like as a Vikings fan, it can't get worse than it was last year. And so it's kind of like, oh man, I wish I would have saw one more year of JJ just to make sure. But like, in return of Joe Burrow,
Mike's O-line is a hell of a lot better than the Bengals is.
Yeah, defense.
So like he would be a lot more protected. In our defense, I mean, they have to get rid of some salary somewhere. I don't know where they would do it, whether it'd be like
Hawkinson,
some guys on defense or not, but Hawkinson for sure. But I mean, he's probably gone regardless. The defense isn't going to be any worse than Cincinnati's either. I think they would be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
which I think could be fine with it. Like,
yeah.
I like it when teams and owners at least try.
Yeah,
they go all in on like trying to win a Super Bowl. You know, sometimes it doesn't work, and you absolutely burn your future. But at least you like give it a good, honest try instead of just like, I don't know. I guess we'll just see what happens.
Yeah. Well, because we're kind of it's kind of a weird spot right now. Honestly, we kind of need to be. We're on the beginning part of like, all right, we kind of have to start pushing for, especially after the Sam Darnold stuff. It's just like, I don't know if we set ourselves back like 10 years with Sam Darnold letting go and winning the Super Bowl and JJ working out horribly, but it feels like it. It feels like we're in a crossroads of what we want to be as a franchise. Like, I don't know.
It's just tough when you don't know what you have at quarterback, really.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you know, like, even if he was like legitimate butt cheeks this year, which he was for like JJ was legitimate butt cheeks for the majority of the year, then you'd see like glimpses of it where you're like, holy, he actually looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And so you're still in that like limbo, trying to figure out if you actually have a quarterback for the future or not.
Yeah.
Sometimes it'd almost just be better to skip the time and have that answer, even if you're not the guy right away. So that way you can at least move on from it.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
yeah,
he's able to stay healthy next year, and they can at least like make that determination.
I just don't know how he comes back.
If it takes more than next year.
Yeah. I don't know how he comes back this year after I feel like it was very clear in the last couple of weeks that KOC does not want as quarterback. I feel like through the lines of like, okay, connecting the dots between what he said throughout the entire season and now Kwesi getting fired conveniently when Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl, or right before he did. And all that stuff comes out about like there was some tension between why the decision was made. That kind of, I don't want to assume a lot of things because you know what that means. But I feel like that kind of means that Kwesi was in on JJ more than KOC was. But I don't know.
Yeah, it does sound like that. For sure.
There's nothing that came out like that. But like if I'm JG McCarthy, which he's chronically offline and kind of his own kind of,
he's like chronically offline, but then he'll switch his like Instagram profile picture 8 times in a day. I don't get it.
He definitely sees this. And he's definitely thought about it, right? Like, does my coach want me here?
I don't know how you would. I don't know how you wouldn't at least like have it cross your mind.
Yeah. Anyways, enough big picture talk because I'm spiraling, and I think I'm borderline becoming depressed thinking about how important this offseason might be. Let's get to your guys. Something to be excited about here. So I have 4 categories, and you could correct me if you think that I should have a new category or that one doesn't make sense. So you're gonna tell me a guy, and I'm gonna kind of put him in where I think it should be. You could tell me if I'm wrong, and be like, no, this is my number one guy. You can do it in whatever order you want, or you can, if you have it already kind of laid out how you want, you can present it like that, and then I'm gonna rank him myself. I have must get, so it's like we gotta leave the draft with this guy. Don't care where we draft him. I don't care if he's a 3rd round value. I want him, so we would take him as early as possible. A fun project guy, so somebody who's like maybe not instant impact, but maybe potentially down the road could help us. A positional fix, strong safety or a center, like whatever maybe, and then a deep cut guy. I don't know if you had any of those in your 4. They're like this guy. Because I remember last year when we were talking draft time, you were like you had some deep cut guys that actually turned out pretty to have kind of fun season. So was there any deep cut guys on your list?
Like this one, not. I would say no, like super deep cut. The last one, ironically, has picked up some steam the last couple weeks now.
Okay.
And he might get drafted a lot earlier than what he's currently projected to be right now.
So he could be potentially the deep
cut
guy.
Kind of, but yeah, like you won't know who he is.
I won't know who any of these guys are.
You might know a couple. I'll just start off the top and work down. So I'll start off at like the 18th pick, and then eventually get to the last one's 97. That comp pick they have. Okay. So the first guy is Dillon Thieneman. Yeah, he's a safety from Oregon.
Okay.
He's projected to be an early 2nd round pick. So I mean, as of right now, he's more likely than not should definitely be available at 18. 6'5". He's 6 feet tall, 105 pounds. He runs a 4.40 yard. No, he's 6 feet, not 6'5". But part of these picks too were like guys that I think would actually fit what we do really well. Part of why I picked him was because he is extremely versatile. So a lot of what I got information-wise is from a website called NFL Draft Buzz. Anybody can go there. You guys can check it out. They have a ton of stuff. But a lot of this is from what they said about this guy. Lined up at free safety, strong safety, and in the slot across his career, logged over 1,100 snaps at free safety, 700 plus snaps in the box, and played a substantial amount of nickel.
Okay.
He's a really good tackler. Great ball hawk, had 8 career interceptions on limited targets. Teammates and coaches said he's obsessive with his preparation and has a relentless effort. And then some of the like negatives with him that he sometimes, because he's only 205 pounds, he can sometimes have a tough time getting off of blocks in the run game, particularly against offensive linemen, but that's kind of a norm for a lot of safeties in general. And super aggressive. Because of that, he can get caught on some play action, and he takes really, really aggressive pursuit angles and can sometimes take incorrect pursuit angles because of it. And then like the little summary they give of him, and this sums up why I think he's the perfect Vikings fit and can basically take that Harrison Smith role. It says his best fit is a defense that values pre-snap disguise and post-snap versatility in the secondary, which is exactly what Harrison Smith always did. Coordinators who run multiple coverage structures and ask their safeties to communicate. Thieneman brings to the table. Coverage instincts and diagnostic ability make him a natural fit in split safety looks, but his tackling and run support are good enough that he won't be a liability when asked to come down in the box. Force speed is the icing on top, in the kind of range that makes coordinators comfortably playing him as a true center fielder when the situation calls for it. So, I mean, he literally kind of has the same-ish playing style as Harrison Smith, and he fits that need that the Vikes have of a safety. So I liked him at 18. Another safety from Toledo that has been mocked to the Vikings quite a bit, Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Very similar playing styles. The big difference is he played at Toledo and Thieneman played at Oregon.
Respect the Mac, though.
Just like Thieneman a little bit more. I do love Maction football. How about freaking Sac State getting added to the Mac?
Dude, how's that going to work?
You ready for that Ball versus Sac State matchup?
I didn't even think about that. Dude, I'll be tuning into the to the Scrotum Bowl.
Like a Wednesday night and sleeting sideways.
The Scrotum Bowl 2026, sponsored by
Trojan.
There you go. They just had this trophy that just says Sac. That's actually great. They should do it. They should do it. I'm watching some Thieneman tape right now. I'm liking it. I like this. Is this? Gosh, talking about him right now and how you described him. He seems like he's a must get. It's kind of like I remember last year we talked about. Is it Imanori?
Nick Imanori.
Yeah, and how I was like, oh, this is not interesting to me. Yeah, and I was like,
yeah, I was obsessed with him.
Yeah, it doesn't sound
so
as
unique.
Yeah, it doesn't sound as physical, but it sounds like it has the same type of like can do it all over the place type of guy. And they talked about how valuable he was for the Seahawks defense, and that's kind of what Flores. They kind of had the same what's the word? Style of defense as the Seahawks. That's kind of the correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the same things they say about Seattle defensively, as in their schematic stuff, was very similar to what Flores likes to do.
Yeah, it is pretty similar. Like you get a lot of safeties playing in the box. He is a guy that can do that, obviously. So scheme wise, he's a pretty good fit. Pretty seamless fit, I guess, is the word I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I think that's a must get. I think we've passed on these kind of guys before, and we need to start hitting on them, and yeah, that'll be fun. Okay, what's the next guy you got here?
And then from Vandy, Eli, I think it's Stowers. I don't even know how to say it exactly, but he's 6'4", 235, runs a 4.55. And I didn't include this part for everybody, but I did for him because he's an athletic freak. He's also got a 39-inch vertical on top of all that. So he's just an absolute monster as far as his athleticism goes. Some of the strengths that NFL Draft Buzz gave him was he's a vertical threat with speed, has natural hands, every catch looks easy or just natural. He's very, very quick and twitchy and creates separation with ease against linebackers. He's a dangerous yard after catch threat. And his vertical says he high points the ball with ease and times jumps really well, and he has ballerina feet on the sidelines. So he's basically a really big wide receiver, which leads me into his weaknesses, which is exactly what you would expect. He's pretty undersized for the tight end position at 235 pounds, and because of that, he is not a good blocker. Like he's an outright liability in the blocking game. However, Vikes have Josh Oliver, and that's kind of what his calling card is. So I think it's probably better to have a guy that we can almost use as a third wide receiver, since we currently don't really have like a legit wide receiver 3, with Naylor being a free agent again. I shouldn't say again, but being a free agent. His little summary here for Stowers just says his development trajectory hinges on 2 critical factors: physical development and landing in a system that values his specific skill set. A foundation of natural hands and route intelligence provides a solid base to build upon, while his late transition... Oh, I forgot to add this. He actually used to be a quarterback.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that was one of the pluses.
Travis
He's
Kelce.
got, like, a lot of knowledge of defensive. There you go. And Yeah, late transition to the position suggests untapped potential still waiting to be unlocked, though he'll enter the league as a more big receiver than complete tight end. His unique athletic profile and former quarterback background provide the tools that could yield serious returns. The transition from quarterback to tight end isn't fully complete, but the ceiling remains tantalizing for a team willing to invest in his continued growth.
Hmm.
Um, and the Vikes kind of need more of that receiving tight end than they do a full polished, like Tyler Warren type player. So I think he's another good scheme fit for the Vikes. And he's projected a late second round, but he'll probably be the second tight end off the board. So it's hard to say if he'll truly be available at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But as of right now, he is projected to be.
Huh. Well, he sounds delightful. He sounds like kind of like a fun, like a perfect example of the fun project guy. Might not be a plug and play guy necessarily right away. Like he's our day one starter guy, especially if Hawkinson's going to be there. But you put him in certain situations, and you're like, wow, this guy could be a dude here. Might take a little bit, but that was always my biggest problem with watching the Vikings, and ever since Hawkinson got hurt, I feel like he just is not quick enough for what we're trying to do. It always just seemed like we didn't have any
at all.
He's supposed to be usually in like a lot of our passing situations supposed to be that like that last resort. All right, I have this option, but he's just never available to throw to because he just takes forever to get off of whatever he's doing, whether he's chipping or whatever. It just takes forever for him to get to his spot. And so having a guy who's a little bit more athletic in that situation, even if he might be a liability on tape in college, maybe that's something that you work out a little bit and you gain a little bit more muscle, and you're more you're around the professionals, and they kind of just focus you really on what you need to be doing. And it's not like we are a huge pound the rock offense anyways. We're more we want our tight ends to be kind of like chip guys. And correct me if I'm wrong, I just feel like that's kind of like our MO. So it's not like he needs to be a he doesn't need, like you said, Bowers or guys overpowering guys, or a Kittle who's basically like another lineman who's also can catch the ball. But I don't know. I like this idea.
And the whole like blocking tight end thing is just not really that much of a thing anymore. Like, there's a few guys that do it really, really well, but it's just more times than not now they're split out wide.
Yeah.
Than they are in line.
Yeah. And the teams
if you looking at tight ends, almost all of them are very similar to this, where they're just essentially big wide receivers.
Yeah.
Going down like the top 10 of them, I don't think there was a single one that was like he's really good at blocking.
Yeah. I think in the past, like it's in the past year and a half, it's shifted quite a bit. We have like those, like, you definitely have to be a borderline wide receiver to be almost a lead in that category. But a lot of teams are now shifting to that like 13 personnel, where it's more about like the numbers advantage versus the size and the blocking ability of that tight end. It's like you want just like having size out there so that you have the defense match you mismatching. But like those tight ends aren't like known for. Like I just think, I don't know, Barner. I feel like Barner for Seattle,
Barner's a good blocker.
He's a good
blocker.
Yeah, but like the way they utilize him, he's not like a what's the word? Like he's not a guy who's going to be like out and about. Yeah, he's just kind of like the way they use him.
Plays in line.
Yeah, exactly. So you kind of have to go one way or the other, and I feel like the Vikings offense and how they want to do things, it's probably better. But it's good guy to pick up for that spot. But
I kind of had him there too, like with in mind of Hawkinson being gone. I don't see how he stays myself, just with the salary hole that they're in.
Yeah, especially if we're getting Joe Burrow, right?
Yeah, exactly. That would be awesome, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he kind of fits receiver role that it would look. I think he would look pretty nice in that Vikings offense, but it might take a little time.
Sure. Yeah, you're right though. With that third receiver, we kind of need the guy like that. We could do it, and honestly,
Well, they
we
drafted
yeah. Sorry.
I Felton, but he just didn't literally like could not touch the field ever, which
Oh,
is like a little concerning.
yeah, yeah. Just we needed guys, and it's like, okay, if he's not touching the field, and we are desperate for some sort of juice in that offensive end. That's tough. But like if we got him, we could run more stuff like what the Rams do with Hawkinson, and we kind of saw a little bit of that at the end of the year. But definitely not as much as they were running it. Oh.
No, but it was just like the more that came out about the Ty Felton pick too was weird. It's like big knock on him was that he has apparently a self-confidence problem. It's like, dude, you can't have a self-confidence problem and be a wide receiver.
No, that's tough.
You have to be
yeah,
or else you're going to get eaten alive. I don't know. Hopefully he gets at least some opportunities and shows what he's got, but it hasn't it hasn't been what I thought it was going to be.
No, yeah. Well, this will be a big offseason for him for sure. All right, give me your next guy here you have for us. So guy number 3. I'm still looking for a
Which category?
I have positional fix and a deep cut guy left for me. You conveniently fit the first two categories well.
Which one did he go in the last category?
Fun project.
Yeah, I feel like you probably put him in the right spot.
Yeah.
The next guy would be. You might know this one because this guy freaking rocks. Jacob Rodriguez, middle linebacker from Texas Tech.
Never heard of this guy before in my life.
3rd round. Oh, he rocks. Google him quick.
Okay, Google.
Like, just pull up an image of him.
Jacob Rodriguez.
Yes. He's got the thickest mustache I've ever seen.
Oh,
he
my
looks
God.
like a sheriff.
Yeah, this guy's a dog. Blacked out visor.
Oh, here. That song. Too Fast by Jason Aldean. It's just an old country song. Oh. This guy is like old ass country.
Like it's like that TikTok trend.
Yes, 100%. It's that song. So he's a middle linebacker. He's 6'1", which is short for the position. He's 233, which is light for the position. And he runs a 4.7 40-yard dash, which is slow for the position. Okay. So the measurables are they're not good.
But how can you measure? Can you measure his heart?
Which is exactly why he is going to get drafted this high. He's like if you took Cam Scatabo and put him at middle linebacker.
Oh, I love it.
That's how this guy plays.
I'm watching this right now. This guy's great.
He's one of those guys that like, the measurables aren't good and the speed, like the 40 time isn't good, but he plays a heck of a lot faster than like the actual time.
Sure.
40-yard time looks. So like, some of the pluses they put for him was he's a legit sideline to sideline pursuit, has a violent hands, and he's a great block shedder. Quickly diagnoses the run, a phenomenal blitzer with natural timing, very slippery, and generated 22 pressures last season, which like is middle linebacker is absolutely bonkers.
Yeah, this guy's an animal.
He's a ball hawk. He's always punching the ball, and he hits really hard. Every time he tackles somebody, it's like with intent.
Yeah.
So the negatives for him are, like I just mentioned, he's undersized. The measurables aren't great. His coverage skills aren't necessarily like really bad, but they're not good. So those are kind of a work in progress. And then he's a bit slower for a modern linebacker. And then his summarization was just modern NFL might challenge Rodriguez in obvious passing situations where he'd need to cover athletic tight ends or running backs. But his value as a run defender and blitzer gives him a clear path to contributing snaps early in his career. This is another guy. He used to be a quarterback as well, actually.
Oh, I love this.
His quarterback provides an intangible edge in recognizing offensive tendencies and making pre-snap adjustments that defensive coordinators covet. Teams running traditional 3-4 fronts, which is what the Vikings do, where inside linebackers can flow freely to the ball should have Rodriguez high on their board, as his skill set aligns perfectly with that aggressive downhill style.
I'm seeing it.
He's kind of just a meathead.
I'm watching these clips right now as you're describing it. And it's perfect. I love that I just started doing this halfway through this process because it's adding to the.
Sure.
I'm visualizing and I'm seeing it. I love this guy. He might be my must get. I might change it.
I think so. If I remember correctly, I think he won. Like they have that best linebacker in the NFL or the NCAA award. I think he won it.
Okay.
Or he was at least in the running.
He's just like a guy. Like you're what? I don't know. I'm watching highlights right now. I'm not watching like reviews of his play, but like I remember we've been talking about God, I can never say his name right. Emamori last year. And I remember one of the down things is like, okay, can he cover guys? And it was like kind of a big like, well, he's not. He's kind of a liability in coverage. But like you get to the NFL, and I feel like you just either figure that stuff out, or it's like something that's just very much over. What's the word? Over scouted in college. Like there's like, oh, I think he might be a liability in coverage, but he really might just be trying to make a lot of plays. Like you're watching this, he just makes plays. His highlights just seem to be like, I might not be in the right spot every time, but I'm going to be doing whatever I can. I might go out of my spot to go and make a play because I see it coming. And that's like the Brian Flores special.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you are watching the highlights.
I am. Yes.
You're only gonna see.
No, I'm watching tape. I'm crunching tape right now.
But he does rock.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so the award that this guy won was the kind of the most outstanding defensive player in college football.
Fun. He is outstanding.
Yeah, he forced 7 fumbles. Forced 7 fumbles this last year. So yeah, with our middle linebacker,
he comes in the Wildcat, just scored a touchdown. I'm watching like this is incredible. He's got a neck roll and he scored a touchdown.
Yes, dude's rock.
Dude's an animal. I'm all in on him. Yeah, he's definitely gonna be in that in 10 years from now. They're gonna be like, hey, it's gonna be Jason Aldean. Let me tell you right now, maybe you're the only one. It's gonna be Jacob Rodriguez highlights from Texas Tech.
The other cool part about him, dude, he's married to a Black Hawk helicopter pilot.
I just was looking at this on Google.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I remember that they got married like a while ago. Yeah, 2023. So he's 23 years old, and he got married 3 years. He got married when he was 20.
Dude.
To this Black Hawk helicopter pilot. Yeah.
Do you know? Get this, from Minnesota.
What?
He was born in Hastings, Minnesota. Did he go to school here though? He was born
meant to be.
No, he went to school in public. He went to Texas public school. He graduated from S.H. Ryder High School.
Care.
But he was born in Hastings, Minnesota. I'm looking at it right now. Viking. This is a must get. Can I have 2 must gets?
Dude, he won so many awards this year. He won more than I even
He's
realized.
actually also in the Heisman voting thing, unless that's just something that I...
Yeah, this guy rocks. Need him.
Oh, yeah, and they're also saying...
when he was 10.
Should he be a replacement for Alex Anzalone from the Lions? No, we need to get this guy before he gets to the Lions. We can't let him fall to the Lions. This is a must get. I'm sorry. Viking. Must get.
Yeah, that guy. He does rock. He's like the all-time. He's the best vibe guy of all these guys.
Oh my gosh, 100%.
And he's going to be dad strong. It sounds like they're having a kid soon. Do you combine country strong with dad strength?
Let me tell you right now, gonna be the only one. I love it. I'm changing this. We're gonna have 2 muskets, and he's just gonna be Viking. I'm just gonna put Viking. Viking. Can't leave the draft without him. Jakob.
He's a projected third, and Vikes have like the 17th pick, I think it was, in the 3rd round. So it'll be fringe if he's there or not.
We
but
can't leave that.
There,
we're trading. If he gets picked before that pick, we're trading up for it. Call it in.
He does well. They do have a lot of picks to trade, so
bring him home. Bring him home.
But yeah, that's everything I had on him.
Okay, last guy here. Potentially deep cut guy.
This would be a potentially deep cut guy, but some people in Dynasty probably know who this guy is already. Mike Washington Jr. He's a running back from Arkansas. He is a projected 4th round pick. And I put the Vikes taking him at 97, which is like a comp pick. So it's like technically the 33rd pick of the 3rd round. So he's 6'2", 228 pounds of pure hoss. And he also ran a 4.45 40-yard dash. He's very, very fast for his, with that frame. He's very twitchy with great start-stop ability, and he's a good jump cutter.
Oh, wow.
Some of the negatives on him, well, one more plus, I guess. With that size, he plays downhill, so anytime he hits the line of scrimmage, he is like violent with his shoulder pads. He's not the best. He doesn't have very good lateral agility, but that is more so because he is so muscular that he just can't really do it with all that muscle.
Sure.
So he doesn't do as well on outside zone runs as compared to inside zone and inside, like, inside the tackles.
Yeah.
And then the big negative on him is that ball security has been kind of an issue for him. And he's coughed it up and fumbled a decent amount of time. But some other kind of like, not necessarily pluses or minuses. There's limited film on him as far as like the receiving part of his game goes. When he's been given the opportunity, he's shown that he has pretty good hands.
Yeah,
and
I've seen him
that he can
house
be
a couple of
contributor
these on this clip, on this film I'm watching, or this tape I'm watching. Couple screen passes.
He can be yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Like screen passes or checkdowns, he can be like functional right away. And then he's also a willing pass blocker as well.
Ooh, love
so
that.
he has the potential to be a 3-down running back as well. And as of right now, he's viewed as more of like an early down hammer, similar to Jordan Mason, but has the potential to develop into a serviceable receiving contributor as well. And that's kind of, I kind of put him there with the thought that Aaron Jones is more likely than not going to be gone as well. Just doesn't really make sense to hang on to him all that much anymore unless they expect Jordan Mason to take a huge step. And getting this guy in the back end of the 3rd is pretty good value.
Oh yeah.
He's been a 5-year college player. He's been through 3 programs, which is kind of the norm, I guess, now. So he's kind of had to learn how to be a pro before he's actually turning pro. Apparently, he's very mature. Not going to wow you with elusiveness or his receiving game, but I quote, "Put the rock in his hands on inside zone and watch him press the line with bad intentions," which makes me feel nice.
Dude, I'm fixated watching this. Okay, I'm not trying to be. Maybe I'm okay. I'm not trying to be like hyperbolic here, maybe. And this is gonna sound ridiculous. I'm watching him, and I see glimpses of Adrian Peterson. Okay, don't freak out here. Don't freak out. The way he runs is like Adrian Peterson did back in like Oklahoma, where he is running through guys. Like he is going out of his way to like, I'm gonna run over this guy here. I'm gonna catch this ball here on the side. I'm doing, like Adrian Peterson would run like this. Like his head's like he's running so hard that his head's like going up and down. Like that's watching Mike Washington Jr. And I don't know if it's the red Oklahoma Sooner kind of jerseys here for Arkansas, but I am enjoying what I'm seeing here, and this would be a fun deep cut guy here for us.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah,
he would probably be a day 3 pick more likely than not, unless like he's been trending in the right direction as of late. like he had a pretty good Senior Bowl, so he really popped some eyes there. And I mean, the negative, I guess, for him too is that he's like they said, he's a 5-year college player, so he's got a little more wear on him compared to guys that do, that 3 years and can come out.
Mm-hmm.
So he does have some more miles on him, but he'll probably be able to be a day one contributor and be pretty polished overall.
I enjoy what I watched.
Yeah,
in
the
that
big,
while you
like
were
I said, the
playing
big negative is it's kind of the same, but it's kind of the same as Adrian Peterson as far as like the ball security part of
Yeah.
it, and it's it's because he doesn't like up.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you as a running back you just need to know when to go down.
Yeah. He just keeps
And
going.
you're like hurting your team more by staying up. He just keeps going.
Yeah. But like
Which can be a negative.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna put the clips that I just found of those players and I'll put it over us while we're talking about it because it literally as you're reading that I was like, this is like watching what it was like when Adrian Peterson got drafted. And we were like watching on TV and going, oh, wow, this guy runs really hard. But we knew that he was like a way higher draft pick than.
Yeah, like you knew he was going to be in the high first round.
Yeah, he's different level, 100%. This is like a different level of that, but just the way he moves was just like, obviously not the velocity and the power that Adrian Peterson had, obviously, but it looks like him. So if you're interested in those guys,
yeah, he can get to the edge just fine. It's just when he needs to change that direction and make that upfield cut, he just isn't able to do it like super fluid or quick. But that's kind of like I said, that's the big that, and then the ball security are his big knocks.
So honorable mention has to be Bryce Lance, right? NDSU wide receiver. Have to give him a look at least. So he's definitely going to be if he's on the board here at the end, he might be like what is he projected at right now?
Well, he's going to end up going a lot higher than what I think. I'm going to look. I think NFL Draft Buzz had him going in like the 3rd or the 4th. Let me look.
Yeah, he is.
I've got one wide receiver that I'm like drooling over. I'll tell you in a sec. But okay, Bryce Lance, they've got as of right now, 4th round pick. I think he'll go well before that myself.
Yeah.
Because if he's there at 97, I mean, you would be dumb to not take him.
Yeah. He's athletic.
Part of why he's probably as this grade is he's like didn't get a ton of targets at NDSU, but his measurables are really, really good, and he was always like whenever he had the opportunity, he did really well.
And dude,
his like biggest knock though is, well, he does. He's got great hands. It just depends on what kind of a 40 time he ends up running.
It's stupid that that's like such a big hindrance, but or like where. I mean, I get it, but sometimes you just need gamers on your team, especially like if you're gonna pick any rounds after that, after his first 2 rounds. It's like you just want guys who are just gonna contribute and be winners.
Well, yeah, I think though if he runs a good 40, he'll be in the top 2 rounds.
Ooh, let's go.
He ran so far. What they've got him marked down for is a 4.6 40, which at 6'3" and 210 isn't very good. But if he can get that to like a 4.5, and at least be like kind of low 4.5, yeah, he'll probably go in those first 2 rounds.
If I hate to say this, but if we don't get Joe Burrow, he'd be a fantastic Cincinnati Bengal for the reasons of how fun it would be to have him, T. Higgins, and Chase out there.
It would literally be that when Joe Burrow got drafted, it was like that team. It's like the quarterback's Joe Burrow, the lineman is anyone, and then the wide receiver is Jamar Chase. It would just be continuing to repeat that.
It'd be fun though. If you just get like some people with a pulse on the offensive line, you might be able to have something there. But I don't want to hold you. I don't want to keep it for too long here. So I want first thing. I know you're a very big Twins fan, so I just want like your thoughts of just overall. What are the vibes looking like here from your perspective for the Minnesota Twins?
We need to get one thing straight. I am not a Twins fan. A Twins fan. And then 2024 happened. And I gave up. I can't do it. I couldn't do it. Like, once they made the playoffs, advanced, and then decreased payroll by $30 million, I was like, if they're not going to take themselves seriously, I'm not going to take them seriously either.
Okay.
And they've just continued to get worse. But I have paid more attention this offseason because it has been so comically bad.
Oh.
Up until the last couple of weeks.
Oh.
They've signed a couple guys that, especially the last guy they signed, I don't even remember his name, but he literally looks
Anthony
like Danny
Banda?
Powers.
Oh no! Oh, I know what you're talking about. Is it not Tranquil, but oh my God, what's his name?
I don't even remember the guy's name, but
I know exactly what you're talking about.
if you can pull a picture up of him, like he legitimately does rock. Andrew Chafin.
Chafin?
He has a mullet and a handlebar mustache, and he wears this. You probably can't even see it, but old beer.
So, let me pull up Big Diesel here.
He actually pretty decent too.
Oh yeah,
but
like, you got to be decent.
Yeah, the vibes though, to be honest, they couldn't be worse. They are booty cheeks bad.
But I feel like I've heard some good things from spring training, like what they've said. Like the players are excited.
Yeah, dude. Welcome to every year.
I don't know. I haven't heard this much buzz from the players' perspective.
There's exciting things probably coming out of the freaking Rockies camp right now.
I struggle with the fact that I have to always am a person who has to give things a chance. And so I know you're like, it's still the poll ads. I know, I get it. And you're like, what do you're an idiot. And you keep telling me that. That's fine. I get it. Let me be an idiot and just give myself a little bit of give them a chance for a second. Shelton, give him a chance. Maybe he's like a Ted Lasso of MLB baseball.
But it's funny that you say you need to give these guys a chance when literally half the agents they've signed are guys that were previously on the team. Like Liam Hendricks used to be on the Twins, and he was actually good, and now he's legitimately washed up. Taylor Rogers used to be on the Twins, and he was pretty dang good, and he's still okay. Gio Urshela was good, decent for a year. He is about as washed as you can possibly get. Those are just that's almost half the guys that they've signed are people that were on the team. And then they got Josh Bell was their big signing. He hasn't been good since 2021. Have a freaking 2021 offseason.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Those are all guys that were on the team in 2021. They are not going to be good.
Yeah.
I would love to be wrong, but they won't be good.
Again.
They basically need Royce Lewis to have a fringe MVP season.
Do I think they're going to win the World Series? No. Do I think they're going to make the playoffs? No. Do I think that we have a lot of young guys who might be kind of fun to watch? Of course. But what you're going to say is that, you'll have fun watching them, and then they're going to end up being on the Dodgers in a year and a half. And I hope that's not the case. But as the track record has shown, you are correct with saying that, and you are very valid on saying there's no hope and there's no point of cheering for this team. And I'm not saying I'm actively cheering for them. I'm just saying I want to be if there's a bandwagon for this fun iteration of this team. I love Byron Buxton, so I want to give him his. I want to be first in line just to be I always believed in this current iteration. This is a new era of Twins baseball. We have Friday and Saturday $2 beers before the games.
Which is the perfect poll ad thing. Just before the game. At least it's something.
He's trying something. We're going in a direction. At least we're like not pretending to be like competitive. We're like, all right, we're gonna be competitively. We're gonna be funnily competitive. We're gonna be funny competitive. Where it's like, wow, we are like young and like there's gonna be maybe a bunch of stupid things that happen, but it's not like depressing like, you know what I mean? Like last year we were depressing competitive. It's like we were trying, but it was so bad that it was depressing. Versus now this year,
they were terrible.
Yeah. This year it could be like, all right, we have no expectations we're gonna be good, and if we somehow like are scrappy and fun, like they're gonna try to steal a lot of bases. That's fun. I've always said Twins should steal more bases. That's fun.
Who's gonna steal those?
Dude, everybody. That's what I heard.
Good one.
I've been seeing stuff, man. I've been dialed in because I'm trying to like, as I'm doing this, I'm trying to change the narrative. So this is my biggest project.
Every year.
I know, but this is new. This is different. We have technically a new owner.
Yeah,
we have a new owner. You got to treat it like we have a new owner.
New owner. We traded Hitler for Stalin.
I feel like I have to bleep that.
You don't need to. We traded butt for cheeks.
You got to give it a chance. We got to give cheeks a chance.
No, I've seen enough.
We haven't seen anything yet.
The Derek Shelton hire too is like so perfect. Like, hey, just a heads up, we're firing you in 2 years.
Everything that happened before the Friday night $2 hot dogs thing was all Falvey's fault. Everything pre $2 hot dog or $2 beers is Falvey's fault.
I get why like people didn't like him, but also it's like you gave him a pack of gum and 3 nickels, and we're like, hey, we need you to go fill out the roster with free agents.
It's bad. It's bad. We're like,
it's not good.
We're like the Washington Wizards of the MLB.
I shouldn't say I'm totally like. I did say earlier in our in a group chat with you that I'm gonna give Tom Pohlad, like I'm not even gonna count this year against him because how late everything happened, like how late he kind of took things over. But I will say he's made a lot of questionable decisions at suspect times so far.
Counterpoint. I like that he is aggressive in knowing what direction he wants the team to go in.
Which is what?
Which is a clear rebuild.
So the hard part with that doesn't like really work in baseball.
But you have to at least start with clearing house and trying to maintain like a young core. I know it's not like that's with every sport. I know it doesn't work like that because you just have to spend money to be good in baseball. But
no, it's not necessarily that. It's like it's similar-ish to the NBA, but not quite as far as the draft goes. As like it's so random.
Mm-hmm.
Like the baseball draft is so incredibly random. You can get somebody in like the 13th round or whatever that ends up being an absolute superstar, and that's not even uncommon. And like in baseball, you don't just get one player that can just totally invigorate your team. I mean, the Angels had freaking Mike Trout and Ohtani on their team, and they didn't make the playoffs even. Like it's not just like you can kind of quote unquote like tank and then just hopefully get like a couple guys over the span of 3 years and you're good again.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they're tanking. I just think we're rebuilding. And it's like there's no point of spending money on a Carlos Correa if we're not if we're gonna be booty, like you just said. There's no point. So you might as well build up your young core, let them grow by playing actual baseball in the professional level and getting better that way, and save up that money for like all of a sudden we're a little scrappy. Hey, we can sign D's nuts from the Mets, who's having a phenomenal season, but he doesn't get as much playing time because they have a lot of players that they're paying. So we could sign this guy, and all of a sudden we're in it. We're scrappy. I don't know.
Once you put it the D's nuts way, that is different. I've heard good things.
Again, I'm completely speaking out of my butt right now. Like, I have no clue how baseball managing stuff works. All I know is what I've seen from an outsider's perspective. I always want the person owning the team to go in a direction and seem like they're trying to do something different when things are going bad. Kind of like when like A-Rod and Mark Lohr came in. They like really wanted to shake things up. Yeah, I don't know. Gotta give him a chance.
Like the Correa thing, getting rid of him made a lot of sense because he just wasn't good anymore.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, you know, I saw people earlier. It's like you can't be mad at them for or like you can't say like they need to spend more money, but also be happy they released Correa or traded Correa. And it's like you literally can. He wasn't good anymore. What's the point of even having him? I mean, they traded him for a guy that was terrible just so they could cut him and process the trade and get rid of his salary.
Yeah.
Like that one makes sense because he literally is doing you no good. But I will say the major leagues isn't really where you're supposed to be doing your development. Like at all. Somewhat, yes, but you're not supposed to just like get the call up and be like, oh, we'll see how, you know, we'll put you here for 2 years and hopefully you develop. It's like, no, by the time you get to the majors, you're at least supposed to be like kind of pretty good, not just like figuring it out. And you know, the Twins do have like some nice younger players, but one guy gets injured and they don't have any depth at all.
Yeah.
Like at any other than a couple of infielding positions. But I mean, he's my favorite player on the team, but he's addicted to like pulling his hamstring. Brooks Lee had last year just an absolutely atrocious year. He still had a good year, but he again couldn't stay on the field. Like in the outfield, it's just there's nobody other than Buxton that is great. And last year was the first year he was able to stay healthy. So it's like, you count on him to do that again? I hope. Probably not. I don't know.
I'm just excited for a direction. I'm excited for not being in purgatory. How about that? Can I say that? Because last year we were being held.
So the only reason
held ransom. We were being held captive. Now we're like, okay, at least we're not being held captive.
The only reason I think that doesn't work specifically is because the AL Central is not good.
Sure.
Like if they had their roster from their bullpen from last year, I mean, they're probably the best team in the division.
What if Falvey was the reason why?
I mean, that we won't even know because this is his whole team.
But what if, like, all of a sudden we start just trading and getting these guys in, like, halfway through the season, and you're like, oh, they're making some moves here.
What if they all suck?
Yeah, see, there's a lot of what ifs.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why we just gotta go. We just gotta go to games early.
What they currently have is not good.
We just gotta go to games early and just get some $2 refreshments,
and then leave after pitch,
and then just leave before the game starts.
Yeah. Correct. my way of protesting: being drunk at the game and leaving before it starts.
Did you hear Kitzman's plan to protest, which was the most Minnesota thing to do? It's like go to the games, still go to the games, spend money, but in between the innings, just start booing. Everybody just starts booing very loudly. and like specifically at the
Good
pull ads,
God.
like find where they are and just like boo, and then like the game starts and you're just like doing whatever you do. This is only in between innings. Thoughts?
I don't think it will work, but I will happily try it. It'll make me feel better about myself.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, everything's worth a try. You gotta give it a chance. You gotta let it all play out.
Sick of it all playing out.
You gotta let it play out. This is all one long process. It's the process.
It's the Joel Embiid.
Yeah, we win one series and now we don't know how to. We gotta wait a while.
Yeah, another 20 years.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I'll let you go here because I don't want to keep it too long. But yeah, any parting words here? Anything you have? Any just hot takes you just want to get off your chest?
Nicholas Singleton will be the closest thing we have to Saquon Barkley.
Nicholas
See ya.
Nicholas Singleton?
Yep.
Who? Who?
Running back from Penn State. He's got a faster 40 time than Saquon, and he broke Saquon's squat record.
I'll grind some tape. I'll get back to you on that.
I'll be honest, the tape isn't the best, but he looks cool.
Okay, I'll grind some tape. See you, Austin. Thanks for your time.
All right.
All right, state of the state time here. February 9 through 15th. I'm recording this on February 15th on Sunday, right after Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to all you out there. Hopefully you had a good one. Timberwolves, not much to talk about here. The 33-22. That's where we left off last time. So, not a huge, not a lot of things to talk about. The Wolves left on a little win streak here, beating the Hawks. Big win as Nickeil Alexander-Walker came back to town. The big thing that came from this is the story came out about Pablo Prigioni, assistant coach for the Timberwolves, coming out with a mixtape, a highlight reel of. I thought right away it was like a rap highlight reel, but or like a rap mixtape or music mixtape. It actually was like a highlight reel mixtape of all their plays to remind them like how good they could be. This is a very crafty assistant coach move to do. Here's Rudy talking about how important this was to their mindset from our friend Andrew Dukowitz.
I want to tell Pablo to play that mixtape before every game to remind us who we can be and who we are. And then obviously, I guess keep taking the tone defensively. I think that's key, and then all of us just keep understanding that our defense and our offense are connected. But yeah, it's our urgency. Coming every night with the mindset of no matter who we face, it's about us, and we're gonna play hard. We're gonna play physical, and offensively, we're gonna play for each other. And that's the recipe. The rest is already there. The talent is there. So it's there for us.
And yeah, Rudy's had some great moments here on the mic the last couple of weeks. But Pablo must have had. I need to get my hands on this mixtape. I want to see what he did. Like, did he have music in the background of it? What songs were playing? Were there songs playing? What did the highlights consist of? I need to see this mixtape. So I would pay top dollar for it. It can be private. I won't share it. I won't share it with anybody. So Pablo, if you're listening, send it to me. I'll put my email down below. But yeah, it's what the team needed. You saw that it led to the Hawks win, and it led to them beating the Blazers. Randall came out pretty hot as they were playing Denny Avdia and the Blazers, who just took a spot from him before the All-Star game. And I think Randall deserved it. I think he was having an All-Star season compared to some of the other guys that made it. And he got his Timberwolves career high with 41 points, ended with a windmill dunk right in front of his family to send us off into All-Star break. And he was playing with a little chip on his shoulder, and it seemed like so. Which leads to the All-Star break. We just saw the end of the All-Star game, and our boy, Anthony Edwards, wins the All-Star MVP, second time in Timberwolves history. And I had to laugh at this. I had to put this up of Angie's leaving Chet hanging. Now, we need to discuss this. Did he try to do this? I'm watching this back. I don't think he sees Chet's hand, to be honest. I've watched it many times. He turns his head and Chet puts his hand out. Honestly, for Chet leaving his hand out, I kind of didn't like it. I kind of felt like he wanted the people to see that his hand is out there. But Chet kind of tries to be a funny guy. I think he kind of is goofy a little bit like that, where he's like, oh man, I have my hand out here. I don't think it was anything disrespectful both ways. I just think it's like, I want this to be a beef. I want this to be more of a rivalry. I want the Thunder to start thinking about us like this, and I want Thunder fans to really take this and run with this. I want them to be thinking about us and thinking that Ant is purposely doing this, but really he's truly not. I honestly don't think he even noticed Chet right there. You see, he's turning his head already. Yeah, he didn't see him. It was kind of a late hand. It was kind of an awkward move by Chet. I think he was late. He was out of the vision. It wasn't anything like that. I don't even think the other guys even noticed that Chet had his hand out. So a little bit on him, but this was definitely a funny Twitter moment for me, and one of the better ones of the season. Ant winning MVP. He needs to win an actual MVP this year, and it could possibly happen. I don't want to talk too much about MVPs, but with all these stars dropping out, it's possible. I'm just saying, it's possible. My big question here is, what do you think the Wolves will do after this All-Star break? How do you think they're going to respond? I feel like we left at a good moment. I think we had a really rough 2 weeks with everything that was happening in Minneapolis, with the trade deadline as well. Getting past that stuff and this nice little break we have, I think we're going to make a huge run here. And I can predict that the Wolves are going to end up being a 3 seed. That's my deep down gut reaction. But I'm always an optimistic person with that regard. So again, as long as you have Anthony Edwards on your team, anything's possible. I think it's possible for them. Anyways, this week here, as the Wolves finish up their break, we have Friday versus the Mavericks, and then Sunday versus the 76ers. Both two great games at home. Go check it out. Now, I want to talk a little bit about some Olympic hockey before we go here. Again, the men's update. The men went undefeated in group play. They ended their group play with a win over Germany to secure an undefeated group session. They'll get a bye to the quarterfinals that are going to happen this Wednesday here against whoever it may be. I think it could be Sweden potentially. I don't know exactly how it goes. So anyways, it's something to look forward to if you are a hockey fan. Please check that out. In other hockey news, you need to check out on the women's side as we're getting into the semifinals. The women U.S. team has been undefeated in this entire Olympics, and they had a huge win over a incredible national powerhouse in Canada, 5-0, which one of the most surprising games that have happened in Olympic history. I don't know. The U.S. side might not think it's so surprising, as they seem pretty confident going into this playoff here in the Olympics and eventually into the medal rounds here. But the quarterfinal win over Italy will get them into the semifinals, where they take on Sweden on Monday. So this will probably be out after this at 9:40 a.m. So hopefully they are going to be in the medal round, in the gold medal round, most likely against Canada on the other side as another rematch. And we'll see if this might be the year that we take down Canada. It usually goes back and forth between the two. Feeling pretty good about this. I feel like the girls are buzzing at the right time. So please check that out. Be watching some Olympic hockey. You'll see some wild players. You'll see some. See Boldy got a goal in the Denmark game, and then you see Taylor Heisey on the other end, and some other Frost players. So check it out. Check it out. Yeah, we covered the Twins, so I'm just gonna kind of go past that. Lynx again. A CBA update. Nothing has been. Let's see. Both sides have not really given anything away of what might be happening behind the scenes, but interesting quote here from Adam Silver regarding the negotiations. He said, "I've been through so many cycles of collective bargaining, and often these things tend to get done in the 11th hour. We're getting awfully close to the 11th hour now when it comes to bargaining." And so, with that being said, that gives me not good hope that this season is going to start off on time. It's highly likely that there's going to be a delay in the season. But again, nothing has came out for quite a bit since we've last talked about it. And so kind of have to let's see it again play out. But Unrivaled's been fun. 101 tournament. We don't have any Lynx players in that finals, but some good action there. Yeah, check out Unrivaled. Check out Unrivaled. I just hope that the players get what they want in the WNBA, and we get some basketball here. It's like I said last episode. The WNBA needs to make the right move. They need to just pay the players. Pay the players. They won't regret it. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. Pay your players. They're the product. They are the product. You got to pay them. It's just weird. It's weird. Don't be weird. Anyways, Loons they're gearing up here. James, I mispronounced. I said James Rodriguez last time. My bad. I'm new in the soccer circles. James Rodriguez is joining the Loons, and there's been a lot of buzz about this, and I think it's gonna be interesting to see how this team under Cameron Knowles, first year coach here, how we were very interestingly designed team last year in the fact that of how we played, very back defensive team. Are things going to change? We have Jaime Rodriguez now. How much he's going to play? Is he going to? Because he's kind of signed this contract to gear up for the World Cup here. There's no secret behind that. Like it came out as such, but he's definitely going to play. And so, how is that going to factor into schematically what it looks like for the Loons? And I'm not the person to ask about that, but I just know that last year we were a very defensive team, and so it'd be interesting to see if I can get somebody on here to talk some Loons as the season started. I have some things cooking in the background for you, but I don't want to share anything yet. First game here though for the Loons is going to come out start February 21st here, so that's going to be this Saturday. So you can watch, if you have Apple TV, you can watch every Loons game on Apple TV. Pretty fun. They're also on local channels sometimes, but if you have Apple TV, a lot of people do. It's on there. You don't have to pay an extra subscription this year. Kind of fun. That's nice. Yeah. Other than that, vibe of the week here. I don't really have like a feeling, but I did find this video of Ant reacting to being ranked as the 7th hottest player in the NBA.
Hottest NBA player of all time. Do you agree with that data, or you think it's
You said what?
The NBA Research and Development Department listed you as the 7th hottest player of all time. Do you
When
agree?
you say hot, what you mean? You talking about what, basketball?
Of all time, it's crazy.
Handsome, attractive.
Oh man.
The NBA Research and Development Department ranked you the 7th hottest NBA player of all time. Do you agree with that?
I love
data,
how
or
he
you
just
think
didn't.
Said what?
I love how he just didn't know right away. Like he's like, wait, what are we talking about here? Like basketball wise? Are we talking looks wise? What are we talking about? It's just such a random question, a random thing to say when you're so locked into like answering questions about basketball pretty much every day. 7th all time, pretty impressive. He's ahead of Aaron Gordon, Kelly Oubre, which is I would think a big flex. I think he was a little like man, only 7th, like in jokingly way, but I don't know. I think he's up there, but I'm just curious. I guess I don't know what the rest of the list is. Let's look it up here. NBA hottest players of all time. What if they had the whole list out here? Anyways, I can't find the whole list, so I think he's number one. I think Jaden McDaniels should be up there too. TJ Shannon. We got a very attractive team. Maybe that's why we're so good. Okay, could be something to that. But anyways, we'll leave it at that. Yeah, thanks for watching. Let's keep our vibes high here. The spring's coming. The weather's getting better. Okay, we gotta. Don't let your teams control your vibes. As always, we'll see you next time. Peace.